And welcome again. Today I'm going to be talking about Lonicera fragrantissima, also known as Kiss Me Under the Gate. Kiss Me Under the Gate, it's also known as winter honeysuckle, and it's also known as honeysuckle of January or February flower. So this is what it looks like. It's a little deciduous shrub. It has these wonderful little flowers that come in pairs. Oh, they smell so good. It smells almost like buttery gardenia, if you know what that smells like, or kind of like honey, but like a buttery kind of almost coconutty honey. So freaking good. So this plant here is very, very woody. Gotta stand up. It's very woody. It's very, very hardy. It'll be hardy for you down to, I'd say, in excess of negative 20 degrees Celsius. Sorry, I don't know what that is in Fahrenheit. It has these really nice, small little, kind of simple leaves. They're borne singly on the stems. This here is really, really good for attracting moths, butterflies, hummingbirds. Hummingbirds love this. Especially, there's this one particular species of hummingbird. It's got like a little bit of red here, and it's got like a really brown cere, and it's just a really pretty species that this bush seems to really attract. So this particular bush has a very wide root system, but a very shallow root system. So I have mine in a container, which will be good for probably like maybe a few months. I don't know, but they do definitely prefer to be planted out directly into a bed. This plant here does have a little bit of a natural dieback occurrence to some of its stems, but that's perfectly natural. As the season progresses, it'll have a bit of dieback. If you've ever grown like a miniature lilac, it has a very, very similar growth habit, very similar emergence of the buds. This tree is very, very suitable for air layering. You can even like do trench layering, like you can dip some of the little stem offshoots into the ground and they'll reroot, free of rooting hormone, which is really nice. In their first couple seasons, if you're direct planting, I would highly recommend that you mulch over to about 2 inches around the base of the plant, just to maintain that root zone. It's a very pollution tolerant plant too. It has this really cool kind of flexing stem habit, and it produces these laterals that are really quite cool. Oh, I feel like I'm gonna break a leaf. So I guess the mature height of this plant, I would not put above 6 or 8 feet. I feel like that's being generous, but I know that they could grow a little bit higher than that depending on site conditions. This plant here is native to northern China, so you can find this in cities like Harbin and Dalian and that kind of area, so specifically northeastern China. But I know that it naturally occurs in some parts of southern China too, like Hunan and Haikou and those kinds of places as well. This plant here is a really good asset for you if you want to add really, really early color to your garden. It's kind of like a creamy, kind of whitish, yellowish colored flower that, I swear, it emerges as early as Christmas. And it blooms for a long time. Here it's March the 27th, 28th-ish. I don't even know what day it is. And it's still blooming strong. I still have new tiny little blooms coming up. Yeah. So this plant here is very well adapted to most parts of Canada and the United States. I know people have a good time growing this in Europe too. It tends to fare well in the UK, Ireland, Norway, Finland, Estonia, Russia, those types of areas that have a really cold winter climate. And I don't know what else to say about it. It's just a nice addition to the garden. It pairs very well with miniature lilacs, magnolias, because they have a very similar bloom time. Unfortunately, I don't think it's edible, but it's worth the investment because it just smells so good. So yeah. One thing I will mention is a little bit of regular pruning to keep the shape of this thing is advisable. And it does really well along trellises and fences too. Like it will adopt a climbing habit if you allow it to. Yeah. So this here is Lonicera fragrantissima, or the Kiss Me Under the Gate plant. Have a good one.